Time Crisis Down Under, newsflash, old cabs are announced, and Arcade1up 2024 release list. Fact or fiction? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Another episode of This Week, the show where we talk about what happened this week in home arcades, episode 115. So glad everybody has decided to hang out with me tonight. I know it is, at least here in the States, it is Labor Day, so it's a long weekend. We have Monday off. So hopefully everybody's just as relaxed as you can possibly be on a Sunday night, knowing that there's nothing going on tomorrow. Of course, I know that some of you out there are working shift work, and maybe you're picking up some, some overtime hours, some holiday pay to try to pay those bills, maybe to afford the next Arcade1up or whatever project you have in mind. So for those of you that are having to, burn the midnight oil, or maybe you're going to go and, knock out early tonight so you can go in tomorrow, I salute you. I've been there myself. And it's not fun. It's not fun, but it is worth it. It is absolutely worth it when you consider all the good stuff you get to buy, not just the stuff, but the living you get to provide for yourself and your family. Absolutely. So what are we doing tonight? What are we drinking tonight? Well, we're drinking bourbon. Obviously, I am still in the Jeffersons. I'm going to go back. I got to build up some stock because Cleveland show, the Cleveland Gaming Classic, is coming up pretty damn quick. And so I got to build up some inventory to take with me so that me and my friends can share. We can partake in the bourbon, of which there is much of here in Kentucky. So I'm drinking the Jeffersons tonight. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comment section what you're drinking. If you're drinking anything at all, at the very least, drink water. You got to stay hydrated. So every week we also have a poll. There's a poll question. And this is, it's something that I think that many of us have taken for granted. This idea of, XL cabs, they should just do XLs forever. That's just the way forward to just XLs. Does everybody still feel that way? Remember, this all came to be a 3/4 scale market. Everybody, for the most part, built their little arcades at a 3/4 scale, or at least that 17-inch form factor, right? The 17-inch monitor form factor. Going beyond that, going XL kind of throws some people's collections off, especially when you consider there's really not that many XLs. With the addition of the new one they just announced, that brings the total to 3. So it's not that many out there. So the question is simply this tonight. I wanted to pick your mind. I want to know what you're thinking, right? Should XL be the only cabinets moving forward? If you could wave a magic wand, what would you rather see? I gave you 4 options, not just yes or no. Got to give you 4 options. So the question, should XL, the XL form factor with the 19-inch monitor, should that be the only cabinets moving forward? 4 options. 1 is, yes, I have given up on 3/4 scale. The hell with it. 17 inches is gone. It's dead to me. It didn't even exist. 19 is the way to go. And the other one, you have another option. Yes, but let's keep those peasant versions. The $299 version with no riser and no lit marquee. Let's keep those around. That's like the gateway drug. That'll get people something, maybe they buy that and then they'll get their fix, and then after that, they'll move on to XL. But keep something super cheap. Okay. So that's one, Yes, we love XL, but just keep it. Your third option is going to be no, just make a few XLs a year. Keep 3/4 scale going. Don't abandon 3/4, but yeah, just make a few XLs, kind of like what you're doing now, right? And then the fourth and final is no, only make 3/4 scale. I don't want an XL. XL's too big. XL's too weird. I don't like XL. No XLs. I just want 3/4. Hopefully I have something for everybody. Hopefully there's some kind of answer for everybody. I know what I think, but I want to know what you think. Let your voice be heard. We got 63 votes. I know it's a Labor Day weekend. I know it's a kind of an off weekend, but let's see if we can't get 150 votes, right? Let's see if we can't get 150 votes. I think we can do it tonight. So jump in there and vote. I'm interested to know where everybody feels. Everybody feels really strongly either way, like yes, XLs or no XLs, or most of you just kind of in the middle, like, lean this way, lean that way. Curious to see where everybody lands on that one. 67 votes already. All right, good deal. Okay, so definitely jump up there and vote and let me know what you think. This, it's good. It's a good thing. It's a bad thing. Depends on the size of your collection. The size of your 3/4 scale arcade. This could just throw a wrecking ball into everything you have. And I get that, too many XLs could throw it off a little bit. So I understand. So let me know what you think. For sure. So anyway, so we know what I'm drinking. We know what the poll question is. We know that it's a holiday weekend. Something else I want to bring to your attention next week. Nope, not next week. Let me slow. I promise I haven't had that much to drink. It's just been a busy day for sure. This next month is going to be October, and we're doing something a little bit special because I've got some great community members, have some great supporters of the channel. We are going to be, let me go ahead and share this real quick. We're going to be giving away a couple of these Super Pocket, these basically they're Evercade Pocket systems. We're going to be giving 2 of these away when they drop next month. We are going to be giving away a Capcom edition as well as a Taito edition. So if you're interested in either one of those, you got to make sure you are a subscriber of the channel. We'll do a separate live stream for a drawing. I'm not going to wait till I hit 8,000 subscribers or anything like that. As soon as it comes out, we're going to do that. And hopefully everybody can just have some fun, relax. You know, it's going to be late October when these things land. So it'll be cool to kind of see that. And, I don't know, kind of get ready for, locking down for winter, getting ready for the holiday season. So just wanted to remind you to go ahead and smash the subscribe button. You're going to have to be a subscriber to be entered to win. It'll be live stream. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll do it the same way we've done a lot of the other giveaways. So if you enjoy that format, definitely get subscribed. Be subscribed. It's the way to go. Special thanks to Ezekiel's Chicago Retro Ranger for providing those 2 systems for us to give away. It's awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun. So once I get those in hand, we'll do the giveaway. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And listen, on this channel, as we get closer to, Christmas time, we do more giveaways. We do more stuff. I like to close out the old year before we ring in the new year with something a little bit, something a little bit special. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Thank you to all 100 of you for being here. Awesome. Good to see everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's not reeling from the shock, the absolute shock that was some of these releases. I say that with a lot of sarcasm. Wasn't very shocking. So yeah, everybody want to say hi to the chat. Let's talk. Okay, listen, here we go. Number 1, this is a new YouTube handle. I haven't seen this one before. CP Fluid says, ahoy there. You are number 1. You are in the number 1 slot. Thank you so much for being here, CP. You might want to get that fixed. You might want to get that repaired. It's not a good thing to leak fluid. Homer 1075 says, love the community, but lost hope in Arcade1up claw machine. What a joke. Just to be, I agree, but I just want to make sure everybody's clear. My community post where I showed you the the Arcade1up claw machine, that was a $40 thing I saw at Walmart. That's not real. It was a joke. Most of you probably got it, but I wanted to make sure everybody knows that was just a joke. One thing that isn't a joke. I know this is not a transition into a super chat, but before I move on and forget about it, I've got a lot of stuff in my Teespring store, a lot of things that you can go and you can get t-shirts and stuff to support the channel and all that. Damaj, I see you in the chat, and I support my friends. But if you want to support me, if you want to support this channel, I've got some coffee cups, I've got some stickers, I've got some t-shirts, and now we have hats. So if you want to look cool, or at least if you want to get made fun of for wearing your hat backwards, do it in support of the 19K Fox channel. So this is going to be the first. This is going to be the first variant. This is not black. This is actually navy, and then that's white embroidering. So this is going to be one variation of the 19K Fox snapback trucker hat. I have another one coming. I'm waiting on some product samples. It's going to be all black, and it's going to have a logo in green and orange, just like you see on my YouTube handle. So yeah. So another way that you can maybe, if you're interested, jump on over, you can check my the description. You can go to my channel about page, and you can see my Teespring. Click on that, and hey, if you like it, if you want to support the channel, if you dig it, let me know. If you think it's ugly and stupid, also let me know that as well, because I don't want to have anything on there that's going to be be a waste and look dumb, because I do enough of that without bad merch. Gotham City Arcade is in the house saying, hey, Battle, did you hear or check the multiple videos on leaks Arcade1up, the leak Arcade1up cabs for 2024? We're talking about that tonight, brother. Absolutely. Your thoughts. Happy Labor Day to you and your family. Happy Labor Day to you and yours. Gotham City Arcade. Always love swinging by. I love it when you're live, man. I love jumping in, and just you got a lot of passion for this this community and this hobby. So always love jumping on your live streams, man. And good to see you as always. Kevin Clausen's in the house saying, will Fox finally get his AVP in 2024? Will anyone get so upset with next year's releases that they defect into North Korea? Only time will tell. USA, ISA? We SA. That's something else. I hope that this doesn't drive anyone into defection, disappointment in arcade products. I'm just saying. There's much more things to be concerned about. We'll get it going. We'll be all right. Will I get my AVP next year? We'll talk about that a little bit later for sure. The bad guy, Mike Worley, once again at this point, embracing the dark when he could embrace the light, becoming the bad that he proclaims. Says, hey, Fox, hope you're having a good holiday weekend. Buddy, hope you are as well. If that list is true, there's definitely plenty to to be excited for, but only time will tell. We're going to dig pretty deep into the list tonight, guys. I'm not gonna gloss over. We're going to talk about it. We're going to meet this head on. I know I talked about it a little bit on B's stream a couple nights ago. I think it was Friday night. But we're going to get into much more detail about it. I have some thoughts. Many thoughts. Rice Retro K, what is going on, buddy? Good to see you. Evening Fox, the Canadian Time Crisis release being limited to 200 total units does make me think they know they overpriced the cab. It's interesting, isn't it? Limited quantities is interesting. It's an odd choice. It's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it works out. Beach Native 78 in the house, always in the house. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hey, Foxy and chat. I hope everyone is having a great Labor Day weekend. I'm going to try to make the actual show tonight. Try. But if you got something else going on with family, do that instead. But just make sure you come by after the fact. Watch me on the replay. Give a thumbs up. I appreciate it. I'll be with the family, so I might have to catch you. Listen, it's okay. No problem at all. I love of you, whether it's live or on the replay. Doesn't really matter. Carlos Sanchez is in the house saying, what's up, Foxy? I'm ready for the show. Get ready. Here we go. It's going to happen. Saiyan spirits. My Super Saiyan friend, my Super Saiyan brother says, as far as the leaks, the community is like Charlie Brown trying to kick the football that Lucy, one up, is halting. Yeah, we're always saying arg. We're always ending up on our back, looking up at the sky, saying good grief. Peter, what is going on, buddy? How are you? Marasco is in the house saying, hey, Fox, can't wait to see the replay. Watching AEW. Listen, I understand. It's all out, so you got to do it. Hope you discuss Bad Guy Mike and PD7's video. So pumped for Lethal Enforcers and Street Fighter 3. What else could be on AVP, BB, Volume 2? I think it's actually version 2. We're going to talk about it tonight, buddy. We're going to talk about it, so make sure you catch the replay. Full show. Shannon Zahn is in the house. Hey, Fox, looking forward to another great show. I'm really frustrated with 1UP. Time Crisis too expensive. No interest in rehashing any size. A claw machine? Where are the 80s games? They're losing me. And it would be a damn shame. It would be a huge loss, Shannon. Hang in there. Hang in there. Something may happen. And all our hopes and dreams don't hinge just on 1UP. But I hope that a 1UP can definitely, they got the momentum. I hope they can keep it going and give us, more importantly, give us what we want. Video Game Vegas says, hello, Fox. Looking forward to another great show. Currently researching light gun solutions with 100 plus games for Gun 4 IR. Or send it. Jonesing for something a bit more what Arcade1up can give us. They're close, but they just can't scratch your itch, can they, VGV? I know. I feel you. Game Broker 84 is in the house. Glad for another this week's show, and happy Sunday and Labor Day holiday. Fox, do you think they will make a Miss Pac-Man XL in the blue art form? That is my personal favorite and day one buy for me. We are talking about that tonight, that specifically. So make sure you hang out, buddy. Stick around, or maybe fast forward to that point. I'm not listening. It is what it is. I get you. Game Room Guru, the Guru. Namaste. If the 2024 list is real, I will be getting 4, possibly 5 cabs next year. So far, I have bought 0 2023 releases. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm feeling it. I mean, the only cabs I bought, I sold because I was just disappointed. Dan Z says, hello, Fox. Good to see you, buddy. Yes, USA. Let's go for it. Good to see you, man. Always great to see you. And Dan, I hope you're feeling better, buddy. Hope you're getting out of the place you were and into the place you want to be. I don't know how much you want me to share. Tran Fanatic, hey, buddy, how you doing? Hey, Fox and everybody. The Z temp went just past half after idling, running around 40 minutes in the driveway. It idle? That's not good. Should be going back to my former job this week. Won't make it tonight. Hanging with family. Absolutely. Hang with family. I forget what I was going to say about, I had this issue where I drained my radiator and then I refilled. You got to make sure you get all the air out of that. You got to make sure you get all the air out of your radiator. If that's what you did, you might not be circulating enough coolant, and that's why it's getting so hot. You got to burp the radiator. I forget the procedure. I forget the procedure. I think what you have to do is get a funnel and put that in the radiator and fill that bad boy up and just let it run, something to consider. Something to think about. But you've been working on the car long enough. You probably know what you're doing. G.I. Joel's in the house once again with the icons, with the hammers, with the wrenches, okay, with the joysticks, with the football. Yep, that's right. It's that time of year again for sure. I love it. Stupid, fat, hobbit. I hate saying your name because I don't want to put you down. But it's your name. So you wrote it, so you get what you get, okay? You get what you asked for. I spoke with my sources, who spoke with their sources, who spoke to their sources. But once Shang Cyrus finds out your mole is mine. I see what you did there. That's pretty good. Shang Cyrus. I like it. That's good. Absolutely. Keith Myers is in the house, buddy. How are you doing? The 2024 list is promising, though Smash is the only one that most sources seem to agree on for an early 24 release. We're going to talk about it for sure. Thank you so much for being here, buddy. Thank you so much for sending me messages. I always appreciate it, buddy. Absolutely. Jay is in the house. Hey, Fox, happy Labor Day weekend. I'm glad you included the option for a 300 three-quarter scale cab. Not everyone has the room for funds to buy $500 to $700 cabs. I agree. And I think that there's always going to be a place for the super cheap peasant versions. I think there's always going to be a place for it. That's just my personal opinion. I may have given away how I would have answered the poll question. Damn it. Messed up already. Jim Pacers fan says, happy Labor Day to all. Absolutely. Happy Labor Day indeed. Jason, Lil Alien is in the house saying good evening. All good evening to you. Michael Evans. Hey, Fox. Hey, man. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Liv is in the house saying, what's up? How are you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by with the pink card. The bad guy, Mike Worley. What's up, Jay? I already said, I can't read two of your chats. What are you doing sneaking it in there on me? What are you doing? Raw LMC. Yo, what is going on? How you doing? Good to see you. Carl's in the house. Happy holiday, Fox. Happy holiday, Fox and chat. Absolutely. MSU Rich. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you as well. 720 Eric is in the house. 720. We'll talk about you a little bit later. 2024, the year of Smash TV. Finally. Maybe. We'll see. Port of Dream. Good evening. Good evening to you. How are you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you, everybody. Let me scroll down. Tammy G, Miss G is in the house saying, Foxy, it's always a pleasure. And it is a wonderful pleasure to be seen and to have you here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Always appreciate the support, everybody. Really do. Swinging by on Sunday nights, hanging out with me. I appreciate it. Night Shadow, what's up at 19K Fox? The Fox Kids, are you ready for Power Rangers Cosmic Fury? Yes. Yes, I am. September 29th on Netflix. Yeah, I am. And I'm curious about what they're going to do for that game that I think it was I need to look at that again. There was a game that they came out with. What the hell was it called recently? That I downloaded and I really liked. And then I thought that Cool Toy said there was going to be something like another game coming out, or maybe he was referencing the show. I don't know. I got to dig into that. Off to one side. I know this is kind of a tangent, but I wanted to bring up the Double Dragon Gaiden. I've been playing that and I've almost beaten it. It's okay. It's okay. Maybe I'll do a separate, once I beat the thing, I'll probably do a separate review, but I know I talked about it and I didn't really give anybody an update. So it's okay. It's got a lot. There's a lot of fun to be had there, but there's some things I would probably change. Goofy Foot's in the house. XL and 3/4 titles need to be released together. Why make someone wait for a version they really want? People are losing patience, including myself. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. When you announce a title, let everybody know, hey, this title will be available in deluxe or just 3/4 scale, I guess. It wouldn't have to be deluxe. It could just be, I don't know. I think they should probably get away from the risers. So yeah, so this title's coming out, the game you've been wanting, it will be available in deluxe and XL form factors. Why not? Why not? I agree. Frank D is in the house. I voted for no. Just make a few every year. At this point, I'm done buying cabs. I can't imagine being new in this space and having limited space / funds, but only being able to find XL cabs. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. I agree. Absolutely agree. Let me scroll down here and try to catch up with everybody. Donovan Klingle's in the house saying, hey, Fox, hi, everyone. Another great evening for an adult beverage and some game talk. Absolutely. Absolutely. The adult beverage is optional. It's not required, but it definitely makes it so much more fun. Straight up Dr. Pepper. Easy now. Easy. Pace yourself. What are you doing? Dr. Pepper is in the house. Chris Ford says, hello, Fox, from sunny Ohio. It was sunny, wasn't it? Down here in the Cincinnati area, northern Kentucky. Beautiful day. Temperatures are still up there. Kind of really looking forward to the cool days, man. I'm looking for those cool fall days for sure. JR says hi to Jason. I'm right here. No, I'm just kidding. Hi, Jason, from JR. Alfred Berger says, what's up, Fox? How are you doing? I'm pretty good, man. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. And another person who's doing well is my brother, Snow Doves, in the chat, moderating like a boss, saying, listen, everybody, smash the like button. Absolutely. It's the right thing to do. Smash the like button for sure. Phil's notebook says, I am drinking Cuddy Sark Prohibition Scotch tonight. Well played, sir. Well played. We may be doing another pour tonight. I can just feel it in my bones. Nooner's in the house and drinking a 7 and 7 because I'm a cheap date tonight. My arms are drinking E85 earlier though. They're still drunk. That's good. That's very good. E85. It does hit the miles per gallon there, doesn't it? Yeah, it really does. Arcade Fury says now have more full size, the 1-ups, so need XL from now on. Yeah, I mean, if you've got, I agree. I have sort of the same problem. I technically have more 1-ups / 3/4 scale because I still have all my project cabinets. So I still have more 3/4 scale than I have full size. But I agree, to have an XL cab sitting next to a full size is a lot less jarring than that 3/4. It really kind of makes you, feel a little inadequate maybe. Carl Screaming, XL for life. What's going on, Big Reese? Good to see you, buddy. We're going to talk about your review just a little bit later. Let me scroll down and see Demajani's in the chat. Hail, chat. That's my brother, my friend, my partner. Demajani, what's going on, buddy? Scroll down here a little bit. Let's see. C. Mart, the Centertainer, says, what's up, Fox? Finally able to catch a live stream. AVP Claw Machine needs to happen. I never even thought about putting that together. That is a nightmare. That's horrible. That would probably be the first AVP machine they put together, and I would be forced to buy it because it's AVP. But a claw machine, I can't imagine that being fun. I can't imagine that being enjoyable at all. But you know what is enjoyable? You know it is a lot of fun. A super chat. This one coming from Wandering Fox for $1.99. Dare Arcade 1-up in the future. Thoughts? I dig it. I absolutely dig it. I love it. It's a great idea. It's the best idea. It's one of the most phenomenal ideas ever. But unfortunately, tonight, you're number one, so you're going to have to go to the pit.
Finish him. Melina wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
Thank you so much for your super chat, brother. Really do appreciate you. Vic Vicious 75 in the house saying, yes, only XL moving forward. And yes, AVP next year, finally. Cheers. Love it. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Bob, how the hell are you, buddy? Hopefully we'll get to see you in Cleveland, buddy. Sorry I'm late. Dang kids and their birthdays. I mean, come on. I mean, you'll have one next year. It's fine. It's fine. Good to see you, man. Thank you for stopping by. Sam's Arcade. Good evening, everybody. Good to see you, Sam. I'm going to go with just Sam. That's probably the better way to go. Vader 86, Dave D. What is up, Fox? Game room looking good. Thank you. It's coming together. I'm still in the valley of indecision. I'm really working on the drywall, trying to get that right. Everybody says use the tape, and I agree that I should. And I've used it in the corners, but damn it, those joints, we're not friends. We're not the best of friends. I'll say that. Steve Sales in the house saying, hey, Fox, sorry for being late. I'm liking the XO form factor. No apologies necessary. You just stop that right now, damn it. Phil Harmonic says, hey, Fox, if leaks are true, I will buy Robotron and AVP. No more space after that. That's another thing we keep talking about now. We're so far into this hobby. We're so far into the product cycle that there's so many out there. A lot of our spaces that weren't that big to begin with have, filled up pretty quick. And we just don't have the room. Physically, just don't have the room. Absolutely. Absolutely indeed. Let me just scroll down a little bit. Cobretti Kai is in the house saying, never fear. I is here. Well, very good. Also rocking the very appropriate English. The Garage Gamers in the house. Hey, 19K Fox. Thank you so much for live streaming at PAX. It was great to have community members there. I just love beating up Cyrus, saying, hey, give me this, give me this, give me this. And he was obviously very gracious to take the time to answer our questions. So that was really cool. And like I said, it's always great when you see a community member there actually, doing some pretty good field reporting. And your video quality was pretty good. Maybe you ought to call, B Kong and maybe hook him up with give him some pointers, maybe, or maybe the Wi-Fi at PAX was just a little bit better. Thank you so much for being here, buddy. Miss Brown, so glad to see you. Becky, how the hell are you? Foxy, almost time to see you. Absolutely. Up there in Cleveland, we're going to make this happen. You better be there. Don't leave me stranded. I will cry. And nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. Reggie Rock Sirac. Reggie, how you doing? Good to see you, man. I'm sorry, that's my fault, not yours. Hey, Foxy, my man, you inspired me to build my own arcade collection. Love you, by the way. Arcade1up is moving in a far better direction, hoping for Lethal Enforcers caps. Thank you so much. I was inspired by others in the community to jump in and really do this. So it's just inspiration just bouncing off me and going to you, buddy. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate the compliment. That was very awesome. Thank you. Kareem Joe says, no work tomorrow. I hope that cup is more full than you. Well, it's not. But to your point, I may have to refill it. I mean, maybe. There's no work tomorrow. No need to get up early. So maybe we can go just a little bit longer. We are going to have B Kong over on the Kong's Roast channel. He's going to be going live at 10 o'clock. So we got an hour and a half left. We haven't even started the show. Damn right. T-Slayer's on the house saying that Pac-Man XL looks sweet. Too bad I jumped and got Pac-Man Deluxe. Still a good cap. That's another thing that they're doing. I think they're stepping on themselves. We'll talk about that just a little bit later. Absolutely. Talk about that just a little bit. Let me scroll down here. We got PD7 in the house. What is going on? Tommy V, great pickup. Absolutely. Making circles. Lethal Enforcers with Lethal Enforcers 2 Gunfighters would be a must-buy for me. Absolutely. Lot to love here. The man, P-Dubs, how the hell are you? Happy Labor Day weekend, everyone. Absolutely. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you're enjoying your weekend as well. A1 101. What up, Sarge? As you were. Good to see you, man. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you for stopping by. ACS Rocks, Esports. What's going on? I haven't seen you in a little bit. Good to see you, man. I purchased a mini claw machine off of Facebook, and it is awesome. Everyone loves it. I'm not saying that Arcade1up is making a bad decision by pursuing this. I'm just really curious what they're going to make. I just like, it's going to be so easy to tear that thing apart, I think. But we'll see. You never know. You never know. They could come out with something really special. Who knows? And as long as it sells, that's good for them, right? It's good for them. And it hopefully will translate into something good for us. Ohio Red Cannon is in the house saying, got rid of all but 2 1-ups. Gone full size. Got a Silver Strike Bowling today for $300. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. I was looking at one in mid Ohio, and I didn't follow up with the guy, and I lost it. My fault, not his. Clax29 is in the house. I would keep the 3/4 scale in stores, but the XL cabs would be made to order and shipped directly from Arcade1up. The thing about that is, I think that, no, you're right. You're right. I was going to say the packaging for the XLs is actually smaller than the 3/4, but it's the deluxe now. So that packaging is even more minimalistic. So I think you're right. You're probably right. That might be the smart way to go, the wise way to go, the best way to go. But an even better way to go would be a $5 super chat. This one from Miss Harris. Janine, how the hell are you? Thank you so much for super chatting. I really do appreciate it. Can we get a House of the Dead? Listen, make Miss Harris happy. She's been asking for this for, at this point, literally years. And she's not the only one, but she has been one of the most vocal. Can we get a House of the Dead with Arcade1up or New Wave? Somebody, anybody. If you love the community, if you love her, give it to her right now. What does she need? She's telling you right now, House of the Dead. And I think a lot of people, I think you might actually sell more than one cabinet. Thank you so much for that super chat. I really do appreciate you. $5. get you. Oh, you know what? No. Let's get some female representation. Here you go. That lady is definitely a killer. But there's another lady killer in the chat right now, and he just dropped a $2 super chat. Demajin, thank you so much for your $2 super chat, brother. Remember, Dark Council, New York City meetup next month, 10/21/23. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Come on, you kidding me? Come on. I went to the last one. And I just want to go, and then hopefully Fatal won't go, and we can make fun of him. It was a great time. Thank you so much for your $2 super chat, brother. You never have to super chat on this channel, but I appreciate it when you do. And I got to give you something. You know what? How about come on. Why not? You're a fellow Dragon Ball Z fan like I am, right? Let me hit you with this.
Can't you do any better? This is the Overlord!
Zero Redux is in the house saying BSA riser boosters lessen my FOMO for most XL offerings. All my cabs are 65 to 70 inches tall. That kind of gets rid of that, right? Just go on Amazon, get you a little booster, little riser for your riser, or even just a booster for your XL. I'm sorry, not your XL, but your deluxe, right? It really it can look a little silly when you got a riser and then a riser for the riser. But if you just got a deluxe cab and you got those small little 4-inch risers, not too bad, right? Not too shabby. Not a bad idea at all. And you know what is also not a bad idea? Is super chatting. And this guy just did it. $4.99, Vic Vicious 75. Thank you so much for your $4.99 super chat, brother. Really do appreciate you. Decent leaked list. And not to be hating, but where is Cubert, Spy Hunter, Afterburner, Open Ice, Road Blasters? Anybody? All great points. All great, just great questions. That's a hell of a list you got there for yourself, buddy. Thank you so much again for your $5 super chat. I really do appreciate it. And you know what? Here you go. Perfect. You win perfect. Absolutely perfect. You know what else is perfect? That transition wasn't the best, but it's pretty close, right? Pretty close. Another $4.99 super chat. This one comes to us from Retro Gamer Trooper. Thank you so much for your $4.99 super chat, buddy. Really do appreciate it. Hey, Fox, happy to join your channel. Looking forward to a great show tonight. Thank you so much. And you know what? Before you go thinking this guy's a cop, and he might be, if you take a look at that picture, that's a stormtrooper, baby. A retro gaming stormtrooper. Does it get any more cool than that? I don't think it does. But it's a damn shame you're working for the Empire. I guess, it is what it is.
Finish him! Scorpion wins. Fatality.
Okay, so we've talked about what's going on in the chat. We've said hi to the chat. We've talked about the poll. Remember the poll question? For those of you that just jumped in, here's the poll question. Very simple. Should XL be the only cabinet form factor moving forward? You've got 4 options. Yes, I've given up on 3/4. Yes, but keep the $2.99 3/4 cabs, right? The cheapies, the peasants. Your other option is no, just make a few XLs a year. And the 4th option is no XLs at all. I love me some 3/4 action. Jump up in there and let your voice be heard. Vote in the chat. We talked about that. We talked about what's in my cup, my glass. Let's go ahead and get into the first topic. Time Crisis has gone down under. And I thought that we needed some down under perspective and Aussie's take on the cabinet. It's funny how they actually got the cabinet first. And you know what? It's about damn time. I think, to be honest, I think some of our UK brothers and sisters in the hobby should also be getting some arcade cabinets before us, just to make it fair. I mean, they've had a few exclusives here and there. They've had some countercades that we didn't get. But for them to actually have these cabinets in hand is pretty cool. Absolutely pretty cool. So what I'm talking about, of course, is Big Reese. He has actually got himself, he's got his hands on a Time Crisis, got that home, and he said, hey, listen, Fox, I'll give you my thoughts if you want, if you're curious. I'm said, absolutely. I want to know what you're thinking. I've only really heard from, we've heard from B Kong, and I've looked at some assembly videos and I've been part of that, but I really want to know what your take is. And so here's basically what he said. And he wanted me to share this with you. Real quick, just some bullet points here. This is from The Big Reese. He's got a YouTube short showing the splash screen. He's going to be coming out with a review on his channel, a full review with great footage and his take on everything, and also that awesome Australian accent. So you want to check out that video when it does drop. But basically, he wanted to pass on that number one is the audio. It's a little bit out of sync. The sound is tinny, and he's really hoping that maybe there's a software update that can fix that. That's definitely something to be aware of. The tinny sound, it could be, is that speakers? Is that hardware issue? We're not exactly sure, but he's concerned about that. And it's good to hear this. I want to hear some good detailed feedback, positive or negative for sure. So he's hoping for some kind of an update. He says the marquee is beautiful. Big Reese's digging that marquee. I thought it looked good, but you never really know until you see it, right? I saw it on a video screen. I saw it on a live stream, but to see it in person, it's good to hear that it actually looks really good. But he said the pedal is comically small. I mean, the pedal is comically small. Now we were marveling, and I was one of the ones saying, wow, that pedal looks like it's a great build. But I didn't take into the effect or take into account the fact that it was fairly small. And he says it's comically small. He doesn't even use it. He just uses the button on the side of the gun, which makes sense to me. And then I asked him for a rating. Big Reese, tell me, overall, 1 to 10, what would you rate this? He said it's an easy 7. Got most things right with the cab. It's beautiful, and it's a centerpiece of the home arcade, but they failed on some important things. So they got the look right. They nailed the look right, but they messed up some stuff. There's some failings here. They said the pedal is he said the pedal is way too small and pointless. And the gun haptic, and this is something I'm concerned about when it's purely mechanical like that, right? When you have to physically pull through additional spring pressure. He said that the gun haptic feedback is another fail. It's so heavy, it makes you inaccurate, especially for point blank, where accuracy is key. Once again, that was Big Reese. You want to check out his channel. He's got a YouTube channel. He'll be doing a review about this. Definitely want to pay attention to that and get his take for sure. But yeah, that's an issue I think that a lot of people are going to have. Even B Kong said that over on Kong's Rust when he was going through some of his reviews, especially when he played Point Blank, which I've played the real Point Blank. Justin and I got a chance to play that up in Des Moines. That was really cool, really awesome, really, really fun game. You got to be accurate. And if you have to pull through all that spring pressure, if you're a firearms user, building the military or whatever, you understand that pulling the trigger is not what you should do. You should squeeze the trigger. There's a process, right? But for gaming, you shouldn't have to worry about the mechanical disadvantage you have when you're firing a fake gun. There's no real recoil. There's no muzzle flip or barrel flip that you're going to have to compensate for. You should just be able to just play and have fun. And I think that's where the lack of that mechanical or that electrical motor inside is really kind of hurt you. I mean, it is possible to defeat it, just to lock it out, but it's a concern for sure. So we got some Aussies down there. They know arcades. They know their guns. They know what's real. And they think that, at least on Big Reese and his perspective, there's some things that have failed, but he's giving it a 7 out of 10. Not bad. I think that as time goes on, you're going to be able to mod these things. The sound issue, hopefully they can fix that with an update, just a software update, maybe push that out and get that going, and that'll be good for sure. But yeah, I think the guns are going to be something that's going to be a little bit more of a challenge. It's not going to be as easy. I think a lot of people are just going to defeat the recoil mechanism altogether, maybe pull the spring out completely, maybe just get rid of it, maybe just simply leave it locked to the rear and go from there, and just eliminate it completely. But then you're missing something when you don't have that recoil, when you don't have that mechanical feedback. And it's a shame. Now, maybe they could release a different gun in the future, but I don't think so. I don't think, and even I don't think it's going to be possible to plug in a Sin and Light gun with the recoil, because it's not going to be able to supply enough power. If they had designed it to work with or to allow for a send and recoil upgrade, that would have been really nice. But you have to build it that way. You have to be able to supply enough voltage to the gun, not just to power the camera, but actually power an electric motor. And if that's not done if that's not designed to operate that way, I don't think it's going to work. So I think that our options for that are going to be pretty limited. We're going to it sort of is what it is. It's a great looking cabinet, But I am worried about the overall fatigue, that people are going to experience. I'm worried about, maybe some of the fun you're going to lose, at least with the T2 guns. You did get some kind of feedback. You got some kind of, sense of, going full auto, right? Which is, a lot of the fun. But that's something to consider. So anyway, that's Big Reese's take. For more information on that, go over to his channel. And listen, if you like what you see, go ahead and hit subscribe. But he'll be bringing you some information. Depending on what's going on with the FCC filings here in the U.S., maybe a long time before Americans get a chance to actually dive in and review this thing. So, my hat's off to the boys and girls down under. Moving right along to the new/old announcements. New cabs, old cabs. But are they better cabs? Well, you know what? I know what's better. You know what is better? This. A $10 super chat from Ezekiel, the Chicago Retro Ranger, changing up the icon. They're changing up his is it an icon? What is it? It's a handle, but the little picture. What is that? It's not a thumbnail. I don't even know what to call it. But anyway, change up the image. Looking good. EZQL. Nice little acronym. $10 super chat, brother. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hey, Fox, hope you're having a great weekend spending time with the fam. Have a great show, brother. Cheers. Absolutely. Your priorities are where they should be. Spend time with the fam and catch me on the replay, buddy. But most of all, thank you so much, not only for the $10 super chat, but the gift of those Evercade super pockets that we're going to be giving away next month. I did remind everybody to make sure that they hang out, and also want to remind them to thank you for that donation. Thank you so much again for your super chat. And you know what? I gave that to somebody else, but how about, you know what? Let's go kill the queen. New old cabinets being announced. Bringing back the old, honoring the old, ringing in the new. Well, there is sort of a new take on an old cabinet. Kind of. It's weird whenever you show up to a birthday party and you're a year late, or maybe you show up to the party, but your birthday card says, 50 when it should say 51. It's a little bit awkward, right? It is a little bit awkward, but Arcade1up is, they're coming on strong. Maybe it's a year late, but it's definitely, they're putting their best foot forward with the Atari 50th anniversary cabinet. So there's some cabinets that have been leaked, and we pretty much knew about these, but they were officially announced. So they're officially official now, and we've got some more information. It hit their website, so it's for real this time. Now, initially, we thought that they were going to have 40 games, 40 classic Atari 2600 games. No, it's actually going to have 50 games, 50 Atari 2600 games, in addition to the 14 Atari legacy games. So that's going to be cool, I guess. I'm not a big fan of console games on. I'm not a fan at all of having console games on an arcade machine. I mean, that's not the purpose of it. But this is not really paying homage to just arcades. It's really not designed to be. I mean, this isn't skinned in Centipede or Asteroids or, Missile Command like it should. It's skinned in this. This is obviously like, I think Michael B said it best. This is a collab cab, but it's with Atari. So at least in this case, they're collaborating with a company that, at least makes arcade games, right? So that's good. But the look of this, listen, this is like solid gold, baby. This is like this is just Soul Train. This is 1970s aesthetic hotness. I don't know. This is definitely going to be. It's going to put a lot of people off. It's going to turn some people on. If you're big into Atari, if you want a showpiece, if you're going for this look, if you love all things Atari, this is definitely something you want to look into. Is it for me? No, it's not. It's really not. I'm not going to lie and say it's completely ugly, but it's just very gaudy. This is just boom. It is, but this is what it is. This is a collab cab. This is, like Cyrus said, right? This is a celebration of 50 years at Atari, even though it is 51 years. But anyway, I'm going to continue to give him crap about that. But this is just one of those cabs. It's like anything else, right? It's like the Chinatown NBA Jam cab. It's like the clot big blue cabs. You're either going to like it or it's just not for you. I think the best collab cab to date is going to be that Kith cab that was just way overpriced, but at least the artwork was cool. This to me just doesn't do anything for me, but there's going to be a ton of stuff going on here because this is actually coming out the vault. So you're going to have metal plaques. You're going to have, obviously it's going to have Wi-Fi and everything else. You're going to have the lit up marquee, but you're also going to have lit up, you're going to have lit up coin door. This is the first time minus the Pro cab that we've seen this. And we're getting it on this. This kind of bothers me just a little bit. This is some of the inconsistency with Arcade1up. Like it's not even things to me in my mind. I got to have everything dressed right dressed. Maybe it's ADD, I don't know, but things have to make sense. Why are we getting lit coin doors on random collab cabs now? I mean, is that not, should you make that something going forward? I don't really know. But in any event, we did get a glimpse of not only the lit coin door buttons you can kind of see in the picture to the right, the Atari 50. They were at PAX celebrating Atari. It was kind of cool to be part of the booth. It was very, very much a professional looking booth, so it looked good. But yeah, we also got a good look at the actual light up buttons, and not just the light up regular buttons, but the volcano buttons also light up. So there's a lot going on with this cabinet. Also, the picture on the left, not only can you see the lit up buttons, but you can say that just gold trim, baby. I mean, this is just, to me, it feels like the 70s. It feels like Soul Train, that 50 done in that style. It's solid gold, baby. And it's just like, listen, hey, this could be your jam. If you got a 70s vibe, I could see some people going for this. I do not like this. I don't want it. But there's a lot going on here. I just don't understand why they do some of the things they do. It's like they just swung for the fences with this one. You have everything going on here. You have lit coin doors. You have lit volcano buttons. You have lit regular buttons. The gold trim. I mean, this thing is definitely unique. And the fact that it's $4.99, I guess at least that's something. Yeah, I see some people talking about vertical games on a horizontal screen. Yeah, that's something. It's not really optimized for that, which is another reason why I think that this is just, it's more about the aesthetics. It's more about Atari 50th than it is really about recreating a actual arcade. And that's a little unfortunate, but this is going to be something. Listen, one look at this, you either like it or you don't like it, love it or hate it. This is going to be something that's just going to be really off-putting for some people, and some people are going to love it. But there it is in all of its glory. The Atari 50th finally officially official, no longer unofficially official for sure. So that's it. 64 games total, lit coin door. You shouldn't have to buy that cabinet to get the lit coin doors. Something else, the unofficially official becoming official. Again, I don't know. This is kind of interesting when you look at these side by side. So the Pac-Man XL became officially announced. Of course, we've already seen this thing at Costco's, like actually seen it. Some people have already purchased this cabinet before it's even having an official price on the website. But $599 is the price. It's only $100 more than a deluxe. And when you look at the XL on the left and the deluxe on the right, side by side, these things look very, very similar. The placement of the coin door is a little higher on the XL. I mean, if you're looking for differences, that's about it. This is going to be the first XL cabinet to have a BOE 19-inch monitor. We've only seen a BOE 19-inch in a Pro cabinet. We have never seen it in an XL. So is it worth $100? I guess that's really the only question. It's the exact same cab. We had somebody else. I read their chat. I'm sorry, I forgot your name. Whoever said it, but they said, "Listen, I dig the XL Pac-Man, but I just bought the deluxe." It's another thing. Here you go again. You just bring out a deluxe version of this cabinet, and then a few months later, you bring out the first XL we've seen in forever, and it's a cabinet that most likely people have already bought just a few months ago. And it doesn't make any sense to me. The next XL cabinet should have been something completely different. The next XL cab should have been a cab that was discontinued or maybe is no longer available. I think that maybe it should have been Star Wars XL, but you just did a re-release of Star Wars, so maybe you got to let that run its course. It's still available at Walmart. It's not like that first iteration, that first version. So this one, I don't know. It doesn't look bad. I think for $599, that is an excellent price point. I think $499 should be all 3/4 scale cabs, and then $100 more gets you the XL. I think that to me makes some sense. I get that. But yeah, it's just you know, and you're gonna get some lit buttons and all that. That's cool. But it is what it is. Not the most impressive. It is cool. I mean, I think this is definitely the Pac-Man cabinet to end all Pac-Man cabinets. There's nothing else they could really do. They're not going to go beyond 19 inches. So if you want a Pac-Man cabinet, this is the one to get. I hope you didn't buy the deluxe, but because, I mean, for me, if I just bought the deluxe, I don't see enough reason to upgrade. It's the same exact games list. But I think that this is one time when Arcade1up has, they're asking for more money, but it's 100% justified. I mean, to me, it looks like this makes sense. You're asking $100 more, but the physical cabinet is bigger and the screen is larger, and you're getting some lit up buttons. So to me, it's one of those rare times where it's only $100 more, and I can actually say that with a straight face. You know, so there you go. Another thing that was revealed, re-revealed, and I say that with an odd look in my face, not because I smell something odd, but because back in February, back when the original, look at that guy right there with the hat on backwards. What is, you know what? I wish I know that he probably wishes he had the official 19K Fox snapback that he could wear his, but he didn't have it back then. He didn't, but I have it now. Back in February 5th, I talked about the fact that the Pac-Man Deluxe, or I'm sorry, the Miss Pac-Man Deluxe cabinet was removed from their website. Now, we had seen this. This is one of the original cabinets that came out, was Miss Pac-Man. And then they decided, maybe smartly to go ahead and just stick with the class of 81. But the Miss Pac-Man was removed. And this is what it looked like on their website. It was blue. This is the Miss Pac-Man Deluxe, blue and pink, the way that it should be, right? I think, in my personal opinion. That was back in February. Now they have re-released, quote unquote. It's not exactly what we remember. So this is what you're looking at here. You're looking at the black version. They brought the black version back. A lot of people don't like the black version. I definitely, to be honest with you, I prefer the blue. I mean, I really do prefer the blue. I think the black is just, while I do like the pink, stands out more against the black, but I just prefer the blue personally. That's just my personal opinion. So they've come out with this one. They've come out with the deluxe Miss Pac-Man, but it's black. But here we go again. It's not like I would like to just leave it for that and move on, but I can't because they've something. Check this out. Okay. So you're going to have light up buttons becoming more of a thing. I guess they're trying to, I guess they understand that they have 5,000 Pac-Man cabinets out there and they have to come up with a reason why you should buy one of their cabinets beyond, because it's got to go beyond the title, right? So they're putting lit buttons in this one. But you're also going to be able to toggle these on and off. Now, I don't know if this is a physical switch or if it's a menu select where you can go in to the menu and you can actually turn the lights off. But this is another feature that's a great feature, but why are we getting it on a random deluxe cabinet? Why isn't that on the XL? To be able to toggle the lighted buttons on and off. Like I said, I don't know if it's a button, a physical button, or if it's a setting. I tend to think the way they're saying you can toggle it on and off. I'm starting to think that maybe that is, that's going to be something like a menu item. But yeah, so you're not getting the blue, you're getting the black, you're getting the deluxe, you're getting a feature that is unique. And I have the box over here because the box this is not a vault product. This is not coming out the vault. So why is this version getting some different stuff? This is the inconsistency I'm talking about. It's you got to dig into the details to even know what you're getting or the reasons why to get something or not get something. It's like, oh, this has got lit buttons. Oh, but in this one, you can actually turn the lights off. Well, but I just bought the XL and I can't do that. Why can't I do that in the XL? Who the hell knows? I have no idea. Would that be a software issue? I mean, or that will be a software update. I mean, that would be kind of cool, but it's not that easy. You have to wire this in a way that will accommodate a switch, whether it's, physical or software. So I thought that was really weird looking at the details. Why'd you go to black? And well, this is definitely, I guarantee you this is going to be a welcome feature because not everybody likes lit buttons, or maybe you don't want the lit up buttons on all the time. To be able to toggle those off is great. I don't know why this is the first time we're seeing this on a random deluxe cabinet. It's not even a vault release. The question earlier was this. Somebody said, listen, hey, do you think that they're going to release the blue one in an XL? You know, I absolutely think that. I think that next year we will see a Miss Pac-Man XL, but we'll see it in the blue skin. I think we'll have the blue version, which is kind of what they should have done, a different color scheme or something with the deluxe Pac-Man. You know, go with a different game side art or something so that the XL can be the most popular appropriate version, in my opinion. I think that's what they should do. So do I think they're going to come out with Miss Pac-Man next year, but it will be blue instead of black? I absolutely think that. I think that would be a more sought after cab anyway. And it would be it's going to give you more of a reason to upgrade, because honestly, if you're just looking at this, right? Let's say you go and you buy Miss Pac-Man this year, Miss Pac-Man Deluxe, you'll be in the same boat next year if they bring out a Miss Pac-Man XL and it's the same damn color. Because remember, the Miss Pac-Man Deluxe already has lit up buttons that you can toggle off and on. So what's the XL going to do for you? We're going to have lit buttons on there too? Well, so what? My Deluxe already has it. And I can toggle them off and on. It's going to have to do something else. I don't think they're going to add any more games, so it's going to have to be a different color. So I think that next year we'll probably get XL Miss Pac-Man, but it'll be blue instead of black. And that's it. New old cabinets, new old announcements, kind of in the theme for 2023. Definitely a dead year for 23 as far as new cabinets coming out. Not that much to get excited about. But when you start digging into some of the details, you get a little confused. I don't know why they're coming out with some of these options for some of these cabinets, but I am pretty happy that these options, these features are coming out at all, because eventually when your cab comes out, hopefully they can incorporate all the right features, all your favorite features from different cabinets eventually will become standard, right? Okay, let's move on to the main event. We got to talk about this, guys. We got to talk. I don't know if you heard. But there's a list. There is a list. This list is golden. This list is beautiful. This list is awe-inspiring. Well, it's a list. So the list, this is like the infamous list. This list was first mentioned by Michael B., who was shown a list as part of his knighting, I guess. Whenever Travis left, Michael B. became the new liaison representative, community representative with Arcade1up, and he was knighted, you know, and they used a lightsaber instead of a sword, which I thought was really cool. And then and a part of that ceremony, he was shown a list of the potential games for next year. You know, potential. That list evidently was released by someone, something, somehow, who knows? But I was able to actually get my hands on this list. This is the actual list, the physical list. This is like the piece of paper. Here it is. Check it out. Complete with coffee stains and doodle marks. This is it. This is the list that everybody is freaking out about. Everybody's talking about. Let me say first off that the reason everybody is so hyper focused on this is because we don't have a GameFly leaks. We don't have some retailer releasing a list of stuff early. We have had nothing this year. We've had a drought of information. And so it's really good to have something to talk about. People get really excited. But every single game on this list, with I think one exception, we have talked about on this show and other shows, talking about what ifs and maybes and what have yous and suggestions. And some of these have been flat out suggested to Arcade1up right off the bat. And some of this information, it's almost like we've had this sent back to us in other ways. We've overheard some of these cabinets mentioned in conversations on official Arcade1up shows. So a lot of these are not a stretch. Some of them are. We're going to go through every single one of them right now. So let me go ahead and put the notebook paper away. We'll come back to it from time to time to kind of remind you where we are. But let me. I'm going to go ahead and let you know. We'll just go ahead and start off with the first one, the Smash TV Robotron. This is one of the most obvious things. I have personally been talking about this cabinet for well over a year now. These are some of the old images I've pulled up. I've had these on other slides. Reasons why I know it's going to happen. I know they can do it. Here it is. And the biggest thing is really going to be Burger Time. We know that they've pulled it. First off, Burger Time is a very elaborate cabinet. It's a very iconic looking cabinet. Dual Sticks has been done before with the Burger Time cabinet. Okay. Part of that was also Bad Dudes, which is a game that I love. And I wish this had a wider release and I would have gotten it. But now that I'm out of 3/4 scales, or I'm not out, I'm just not as interested. I don't know that I would have kept it, but I probably would have because Bad Dudes is pretty cool. I like Karate Champ too. But we've done this. We talked about this more than most people have pointed this out. Burger Time had the control scheme. Smash TV has the fan base. Total Carnage, Robotron, it's all part of the same family. And with Eugene Jarvis being so heavily involved, even being interviewed on the One Update show by Travis, and Eugene Jarvis said he would love to redo Robotron with some kind of like 10-player version. And they even talked about how we could do that with Wi-Fi, multiplayer online. He absolutely loved that. But Eugene Jarvis, the man, the myth, the legend, also mentioned all 3 games that you and I have mentioned over and over and over again. Smash TV, Total Carnage, and Robotron. Those 3 games. Now, would that be a good cab? Would that be something you would buy? Would that be something I would buy? I mean, yes. I mean, absolutely. I mean, I have to see. I would love this to be an XL cab, I think. And that's the thing. I've talked about this before. I'm going to say it again. Once you get beyond a certain price point, I think you go XL. If you tell yourself, if they're sitting across the table, if they're saying, guys, Arcade1up, right? They're having a meeting. If they say we can't make this for $499, XL. If you can't make it for $500, XL. If it's going to cost you, if you're going to have to charge me more than $500, make it XL. Give me XL. And then we can call it a day. I would love to play this on a 19-inch monitor. I'd love to play it on a 26-inch monitor, but I'll take a 19-inch. I think that's the best way to go. I think shooters should all be XL. I think it's just, if you can't do that, if you're going to go, if it's 550, if it's 600, if it's 700, it has to be an XL. There should be no more debate about this. The pandemic is over. The supply chains have hopefully been repaired to 100%. They're almost 100% recovered, right? They're back to where they should be. It's time. It's time. I think that for me would be a cutoff point. Moving forward, everything we're going to talk about on this list, if you can't do it for 500, XL. You want to re-release stuff, you want to have deluxes, you want to have legacies, that's fine. That's cool. But I think XL, that's the best way for me to justify that price. Faux show. So yeah, Smash TV. Do I think it's going to happen? I think so. I think it is going to happen. They'll probably do a 3/4 scale cab. I think they're going to do a 3/4 scale cab. I think Arcade1up is thinking long term. They think they can resell this cab again in an XL form factor. They're thinking they're going to have a 3/4 scale run, and they'll run it out, and people will buy it up, and then they can re-release it in 2 years as an XL cab, and people will buy it up, and well, maybe they're right. But I think that we'll probably see it in 3/4 scale. I do think it's going to happen because they've been talking about this for a very long time. So I think that's going to happen for sure. So next one up on the list, we're talking about the Cowabunga collection. I looked at this and I laughed. I thought, how stupid. That's so dumb. And then Atari 50th came out. And then I thought, well, you know what? I think it's possible. I think while I not looking forward to it, really, I think it's possible. And here's why I'm not looking forward to it. I am a Ninja Turtles fan. I was a kid of the 80s, and the early 90s. I grew up with them in their infancy. I remember playing the games, the very first games. I remember the TV show. I dig the Turtles. But if you look at the Cowabunga collection, the games list on your left-hand side there's 2 arcade games. There is 2 arcade games. And I included a picture of the Atari 50th for it. That's the justification. I think that this will absolutely happen. I think that the Ninja Turtles, the Cowabunga Collection cab will actually happen. I think they'll have the Cowabunga decals on the side. I think they'll have, it'll be the same controls. I think, it's going to have to be a 4-player cab. I think that hopefully, knock on wood, they will do the deluxe version. So just like the NBA Jam Deluxe, but you'll have a Cowabunga Collection Deluxe, and you're only going to get 2 arcade games, but you're going to get all these other games. The NES games, the Super Nintendo games, the Sega Genesis games, the game, the Game Boy game. Sorry, the Game Boy games. Yay! Sorry, Jason. I'm not trolling you. I think this is actually going to happen. I would not have thought this was going to happen if I didn't see the Atari 50th. But basically, what you see, the collab cabs have always been standard Arcade1up cabs with the sticker on the side. Somebody, whether it's Kith, whether it's Chinatown Market, they just pay to have their name stuck on the side. This is the first collab cab we've seen where they've partnered with a video game company, and the video game company has influenced the games list. And here's another thing you have to consider. How do you make the next Ninja Turtles cabinet different? Nintendo has the license. You can forget anything else being on the cabinet. I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you. I would love to have TMNT, both games, X-Men, Simpsons, all those Konami games, 4-player, awesome 4-player. I would love to have them on one cabinet. That would be phenomenal. It's not going to happen because that is the, that's the cruel fate of licensing. But I think this is what we're going to get. I think we're going to have Cowabunga, branding all over this damn thing, and you're going to get this games list right here. I think this is going to happen. Yeah, I mean, if this list is for real, and once again, I don't work for Arcade1up, so I have not seen the real list. I'm just going off this coffee-stained list that I have in front of me. Then I think this is actually going to happen. In the same vein of Atari 50th. It does a couple things. Like I said, first off, it gives people a reason to buy another Ninja Turtles cabinet, because if they don't do this, you're just going to get 2 games. That's all you're going to get. There's going to be no additional features. They might do light up buttons. Woo! They'll give us a deluxe cab shape. Woo! I think the Ninja Turtles, the first game artwork, will be the biggest thing. That could push people to maybe get it. But that cabinet is still out there. Turtles in Time is still out there. It's still available. You can buy it all day long, and nobody's buying it. Partially because it's $700, unless you can catch it on sale for $500, or $600. So I think it's going to happen. If I have some caveats, if it is a deluxe 4-player, if it's $599 or less, I might buy it. I know. I know I've always said I hate console games on a cabinet, but I really like Ninja Turtles. I still have the first generation. I don't think I can ever get rid of it. But if I was ever going to buy another Ninja Turtles cabinet that wasn't XL, this could do it. Now, the question a lot of people are going to ask is will Shredder's Revenge? Forget it. Nope, not going to happen. You're not going to get a 16:9 screen from Arcade1up, at least not in the immediate future. Maybe eventually, but this is not. You're not getting Shredder's Revenge. You're not going to get that. You're going to get another collab cab with Nintendo. With Nickelodeon, not Nintendo. You're going to get this. You're going to get a collab cab with Nintendo. I did it again. You're going to get a collab cab with Nickelodeon. Ninja Turtles branding all over the place, Cowabunga collection all over the place, and you're going to have this games list. And I just think, to be honest with you, Turtles fans are going to buy it. Turtles fans are going to buy it all day long. They are. They're going to buy it all day long. And like I said, there's a lot of caveats, but I think that I could potentially buy this one. I'm not exactly sure, but if you have all those things checked off the list, I would probably buy it. If the artwork sucks, no, but I could see maybe giving away. I would never sell my Ninja Turtles cabinet I have now. It was a gift, but I might give it away to a family member if they do the Cowabunga collection right. So is this one going to happen? I think so. And I think that's what's going to look like. Hopefully it's a deluxe. I think the risers are probably gone. So I think if we could probably see a deluxe Cowabunga collection, I think we could it could happen. Is it going to happen next year? I think they're going to have to do it next year. They're a year behind. Cowabunga collection came out for all the systems, but that's still sort of fresh in people's minds. And what else is a Ninja Turtles, fan going to go buy? I'm not real big on the new movie that came out. So what else is there? And yes, we're going to go ahead. We're going to go a little bit long tonight. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to require a little more refreshment. So more Jeffersons for me. So feel free. You have my permission. Not that you needed it. You have my permission to partake of more drink. Partake of more, because more is always better. Just like a Canadian. $6.99 super chat from Rights Retro K. Thank you so much for your $7 Canadian super chat. I really do appreciate it. The SNK XL tells me it's probably a fake list. They didn't do Blitz or MVC2 as an XL first. They won't with something as highly anticipated as Big Red either. Thank you so much for your super chat. We're going to talk about that cabinet. It's coming up because I have some thoughts. Thank you so much for your $7 super chat, man. I really do appreciate it. And what have I done? You know what? Wolverine is coming for you.
Let's go.
Wolverine win.
Rookie indeed. Thank you so much for your super chat. I really do appreciate it. I have Turtles in Time, and I have Turtles in Time. I bought it begrudgingly. I hate the artwork. I know. I understand. You're a Turtles fan, but you deserve better. You deserve so much better. I think we all deserve way better than that. That's absolutely horrible. And, listen, we do deserve better, but I think I'm good. I think I'm covered. I mean, what's better than an Australian $5 super chat? This one comes to us from the Big Reese. Thank you so much for $5 super chat. Australian, really do appreciate it. Everyone says no console games, but everyone wants a Streets of Rage cab. Damn it. You got me on that one, didn't you? Yeah, I think we all have, to be absolutely fair, we all have our weaknesses, don't we, Big Reese? And I guess I'm no exception. Thank you so much again for the Australian super chat and your insights into the down under version of Time Crisis. I really do appreciate it. Everybody, make sure you check out Big Reese's channel. He's going to give a full review later on, hopefully this week, maybe the next week. Give him some time. He's got to get it all together. He, like most of us, are enjoying vacation with his family. So that's definitely awesome. That's definitely highest priority. That's where your priority should be. It's a great thing, almost as good as a $5 super chat from Molar Medic. Thank you so much for your American $5. We're getting all kind of currencies here, and I absolutely love it. It's been an honor to have everybody here in the chat. I love hanging out with you. $5 from Molar Medic saying, hope your weekend is going well. 19K salute. Wish Arcade1up would make XL Road Blasters. Absolutely. Absolutely. Drivers and shooters. If I was the emperor of Arcade1up, I don't think it's a thing. My edict would be XLs for all drivers and shooters moving forward. That would be what I want. And I absolutely, you know me. You hit me in the feels. I absolutely love Road Blasters. Thank you so much for your $5 super chat, man. Really do appreciate it. And you know what? Here you go. So while the shock and awe of Cowabunga Collection is sinking in, let's talk about the most unsurprising additive. The thing on the list is going to be track and field. Track and field is a cab we've talked about. It was leaked and then it was removed. I even talked about a games list back in the day, a possible games list. You're going to have track and field. You could have track and field 2, but that was technically a computer game release. You could have Konami 88, which is an actual arcade sequel, and then track and field 2, 8-bit. The beyond Konami 88, all the arcade sequels went 3D, so it's kind of out of the realm of what I think is possible by Arcade1up. It's not to say they couldn't do it. They could maybe, you know, I mean, we've seen what they've done with some games we thought were impossible for them to emulate. They've actually found a way. But I think that it's probably, you know, the arcade sequels being 3D, you're going to get some console inclusions. I think you'll get Konami 88 for the arcade games. You have 2 arcade games and then 2 console ports. That's probably the best we can hope to achieve, hope to see with this. Is it going to happen? I don't think there's a lot of excitement for track and field. I don't think that, I mean, unless there's some other kind of tie-in with the Olympics or something, I don't know that track and field is something that retailers are going to want to buy. So I doubt track and field is going to happen. It might. They could push that, but it's going to be 3/4, and it's not going to be cheap. It's not going to. They're going to have to, because they're going to have to make a bunch of money per unit. It's not going to be. They're not going to push. It's not going to be like a budget title. And once again, it's track and field. Arcade aficionados, people that are into arcades, we know it. But is anybody else? I mean, does that make their top 10? I mean, honestly, even if you're an arcade fan, does that make your top 10? I don't know. I think there's other stuff out there that's more attractive, but I think they've tried it. I think that it was rumored because it was probably made. It was probably a prototype. It was probably shown to retailers, and it didn't happen. And it didn't happen for a reason. I just don't think it's there. Could it be, I think that was also at a time where we were talking about direct-to-consumer, and that was going to be an initiative. I think there were some titles that were on the edge that they could do direct-to-consumer, limited quantities. You'd have to buy it. You prepay up front, like Hasbro Pulse when they had Liv working there. She came from Hasbro, and that was her forte. That was her specialty. I think that you could have really had something. You could have really had something with a direct-to-consumer line. It'd have to be super, focused. But basically, you just make a render, and maybe even a tech demo, and then that's how you sell it. You get people to buy in. You have, it's like a Kickstarter basically, but it's with the company that's going to make it. It's direct to consumer. So I don't know that I don't have a lot of faith in track and field. I really don't. I think it's just I think it's on this list because it was on a list before, and this list, as you see, as we go down this list, some of this stuff, we'll talk about it. The next one is going to be Star Wars XL. That's just a bonehead. Yeah, duh. I mean, what else are you going to do with Star Wars? Once again, it's like TMNT. I mean, you're locked in. You can't put anything else on the cab. There's nothing else you can put on Ninja Turtles. There's nothing you can put on it. Star Wars is the same thing. It's an Atari 3-pack, and that's all you're going to get. They've done it once. They've done a re-release. This is 3/4, right? So they did a re-release. Looks a little bit better. Coin doors, all that. Good. How else can you milk that? How else can you expand upon that? You make an XL version. That's it. That's all you can do. You make an XL version. You make a much higher quality marquee. The marquee looks good. I can't for that third generation marquee. Excuse me. For that third generation marquee, it's probably the best. But still, I'm just not. I think you got to go beyond. You got to go with a real marquee. So you upgrade the marquee. You make an XL version. It's going to happen. It's absolutely going to happen because you know it's going to sell. When you have a brand, when you have a property, when you have a license to Star Wars, you milk it for all it's worth. So I think that's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. Moving on. Okay, this is what everybody came here for. This is the most anticipated game of all time for me. This may not hit everybody in the feels the way it does me, but yeah. So I think this is a troll job of the utmost degree. But it's actually going to happen. This is going to happen. So this is something that was greenlit. This is going to happen. In what form will it take? Now, we see Big Blue 2. Let me talk about this for a second. The reason why I give this a lot of credence, back in the day, John D and I actually talked about this because I'm a Capcom fanboy. Unapologetically, right? And he and I would talk about the Dynamo cabinets, and we talked about doing Street Fighter 3, but in the Dynamo cabinet with the green trim, because he saw that cabinet. He remembered it back. So did I. And then we would talk about Big Blue. And they did the first Big Blue they did was like the version, like the big marquee Big Blue. There's another version of a Big Blue. It's a slight difference. It's not huge, but John D and I actually talked about that and maybe doing another Big Blue, but you're basically just going to change the top of the cabinet. That's all you're going to do. I hope that they change a few things. That angle on that first Big Blue was too severe, but we've had conversations about, I mean, I've been in, directly, right? We've talked about this specific. This seems a little too specific to just gloss over. Some people are thinking, this will be a 3-player, an AVP, but it's going to be the 3-player Big Blue. That's not going to happen. I listen, what I would love personally, I would love a Big Blue 2 3-player. I would want AVP on it. I would want, you could bring Knights of the Round back in because that's a 3-player game. I would absolutely love Cadillacs and Dinosaurs making an appearance in a 3-player cabinet, and it would only have 3 games, 3-player, Big Blue. It would also be a Big Blue 2 XL. It would have a 19-inch monitor. Am I going to get that? No. What are we going to get? We're going to get this. I think that this is the game. If you're familiar with my channel, you know that I took a X-Men versus Street Fighter Arcade1up and I converted it to a Alien versus Predator cab. And the thing that I used for that build was the Capcom home arcade. It looked like a Pandora's box arcade stick, 2-player arcade stick that has the guts inside. That's what they had. So this thing was only available in UK. So I had to import this thing from the UK, and the games list you see on the left, with the exception of Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, that's actually the games list that was included in that Capcom arcade fighting stick. And to me, this is actually my iPanel too. Like I said, minus if you cover up Cadillacs and Dinosaurs on the bottom, that is actually my iPanel on that cabinet. And to me, that is, if you're only going to have 16 games, it's a pretty badass list. It's very diverse. You're going to have a lot of different games going on, a lot of different game types in there. I mean, you only have, thankfully, there's only 1 Street Fighter. I don't need 4 Street Fighters. 1 is fine. You have representation of the Street Fighter brand. There you go. What I would love to see, what I think that we could see this games list. If they really want to lock down Alien versus Predator, I think there is licensing issues with Alien versus Predator, that game specifically. So what we may see is they can only get Alien versus Predator as part of that initial agreement or that initial package that included the 16 games that you see in front of you. The 17th game was my honorable mention. I would love to have Cadillacs and Dinosaurs as part of this. So if you're talking about ideal games lists, for me, Capcom, this is what I'm looking for here. This is what I want to see. They already have a different cabinet. They have Marvel vs. Capcom 2 that has all the versus games on it. It would be cool to have one of those on here, but I think that this, for me, is a very eclectic collection of different Capcom games. It's a games list that has just a ton of variety. There's beat 'em ups, platformers. You have puzzle games. You have puzzle fighters on there. You have sports games. Eco Fighter is on here, for the left-handed shoot 'em up. There's a ton. You have Darkstalkers is represented. Come on, you got Final Fight in there. You got your Street Fighter. You got Pro Gear. 1944 is there. Armored Warrior is such a fun game. And then Alien versus Predator is your marquee title. But I'm telling you, this is an incredible games list. I love this is a cabinet, even though it's not an official Arcade1up cabinet that I made. I play this all the time because I can go there and get the variety that I want. I'm telling you. And then if you include Cadillacs and Dinosaurs in this, I mean, if I had to take out a game and put in Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, I'll do it right now. I'll take out Captain Commando. I'll take out. First off, my first bet, I would just get rid of the Sports Club game completely. But maybe Eco Fighters. But I would like to keep some of that. I mean, Giga Wing, you want to keep that. Darkstalkers, I like to see that. The Puzzle Fighter, you got to keep that. I love seeing Strider there. You got to keep Strider. But Cadillacs and Dinosaurs has to be a part of one of these collections eventually. It's just so much fun. I absolutely love Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. But what I'm thinking is that we're probably going to get I don't know. I think that to get Alien versus Predator, there's going to be some kind of requirement, and they may just reuse the games list from that home arcade stick that they released in UK, and it could be just the 16 games up there. But I would absolutely love Cadillacs and Dinosaurs being part of it. If you're wondering what a Big Blue 2 cabinet looks like, it's over there on the right-hand side. You see that the speakers are there, similar to what we saw with the Big Blue, but you have this float. It's really cool. It's like a floating marquee pod. It's connected by a single round tube, and it looks like it's kind of floating above. And the speakers were like component speakers. You had like dual two-ways. They weren't 6x9s, but they were like component speakers. So you had the Q sound kicking. It was sick. It was a sick cabinet. Better sound, a little bit better sound. The Big Blue 1 also had Q sound, but this has that Q sound with those speakers, and that floating marquee pod is just sick. I mean, I love the way that looks. So Dream Cab for me, is it going to happen? I think so, but it will be in a 3/4 scale. It will be a 6-button, configuration. You're not going to have 3 players, because to do that right, you'd have to have 3 players and 3 buttons. They're not going to limit it, because every Capcom cabinet that they're going to make is going to have Street Fighter. It's going to have 4 Street Fighters, or at least 3 Street Fighters. So those will be on there, or fingers crossed, we'll see this games list, and I would love it. So is Alien versus Predator going to happen? The last I heard, it was greenlit. I heard something about Big Blue 2 being a thing, but they could just reuse Big Blue 1. I mean, they could. I mean, to cut down production costs, they could just reuse the Big Blue 1 design and just slap Alien versus Predator on it. But I really think, and I know I'm partial, but I think that if it's Alien versus Predator on the side of this cabinet, immediately there's brand recognition. Even if you're not a Capcom fan, Alien and Predator are just some of the 2 most recognizable IP of all time. And if Arcade1up was able to lock this down, I think you can spend the money and you can make the cabinet different, and people will buy this. I mean, it's just they're just 2 incredibly recognizable franchises, and I think it's just be a damn shame if they don't go all the way and do a Big Blue 2 3/4, and then you'll get AVP as well as other games. So that's what I think. I think it could happen. Like I said, this list, I'm telling you guys, no matter what anybody else is telling you, this is not a roadmap. We're only halfway through the list, but we'll get into it a little bit more. But I'm just telling you, that's just where it is. So AVP, will it happen? I know the game. I heard the game was greenlit. I know I had conversations with John D about Big Blue 2. Now, is that all going to happen at the same time? No idea. This could be just stuff written on a chalkboard somewhere or a blackboard somewhere. Will it be erased? Who knows? But you know what won't be erased from my heart? A $5 super chat from Kevin Clausen. Thank you so much for your $5 super chat, buddy. I really do appreciate it. We got Street Fighter. We got AVP. We got another $5 super chat. NFL starts Thursday, and I won't be able to watch the show. Are you into NFL? Yes, I don't stream on Thursdays, so you're good. I don't stream on Thursdays, so you're good. Sundays, I get into conflicts. I know. That's tough. But yes, I'm a Cowboys fan. Save your hate mail. I know. I get it. I was born in Texas, so I blame my parents. I blame my heritage. Thank you so much for your $5 super chat, brother. Really do appreciate it. And here you go. That's going to hurt. Moving right along, AVP. Is AVP going to happen? I think AVP will happen. Hopefully it's in Big Blue 2. Let's talk about something now. Let's talk about this. I don't know if you've seen it, if you've realized this, but this hyphenated freaking list is not, you can't just lump Street Fighter 3 and Street Fighter Alpha together. It doesn't make any sense to me. This is ridiculous. Let me tell you something right now. Street Fighter 3 is not going to happen. That's CPS 3. It's not going to happen. I mean, it could happen. They could do it, but are they going to spend the time and development to give us a CPS 3 game? For what purpose? I mean, Street Fighter 3 is not the biggest, most successful Street Fighter out there, obviously. I would enjoy it, but what else could you do? I mean, you could have a CPS3 cabinet, but you would have to have like Red Earth, which is a deep cut, but I would love to play, but most people aren't going to know what the hell Red Earth is. You're going to have JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Anime fans would dig it. I would be into it because I'm a Capcom fan. I dig, I mean, the CPS3 games list is like 3 Street Fighters and 3 other games, and that's it. So are they going to spend the time to develop that? I don't think so. I think Street Fighter 3 is not going to happen. I think that's fantasy. But what I don't think is a fantasy is going to be the other game that's a part of that. And it's this right here. I have talked about this on my channel many, 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 many times. Street Fighter Alpha is a CPS2 game. Street Fighter Alpha is, I mean, it's the same. They have done this with X-Men versus Street Fighter. They've done all these other CPS2 games. This is not a surprise. They could easily do this. And I've brought this up before. On the PS2, in the PS2 era, they came out, Capcom released a Street Fighter Alpha anthology. It included Street Fighter Alpha, Street Fighter Alpha 2, Street Fighter Alpha Gold, and then the most iconic of them all, Street Fighter Alpha 3. And then they also included in that collection Gem Fighters, which are the small, little cute fighters. It's the Street Fighter, cute characters that you see in the Puzzle Fighter game. So there's 5 games right there. They could even include Puzzle Fighter if they wanted, but you can get that on Big Blue. But if they wanted to leave that off of the AVP Big Blue cabinet, they could bring it over here and you would have 6 games. I think that we could absolutely see a Street Fighter Alpha anthology. I think it makes sense. They can obviously do it. They have done CPS2 games over and over and over again. There's no reason why a Street Fighter Alpha anthology cabinet couldn't happen. And I think it's absolutely, it could happen. Is it going to happen? I don't really know. But I think that if it does happen, while it could be a $4.99 cabinet, it won't be. They'll make it a $5.99 cabinet. It'll be a deluxe, obviously, but it's going to be considered a specialty cabinet, even though it's exactly the same layout, exactly the same PCB as their Capcom Deluxe cabinet, their Legacy Deluxe, or the Legacy cabinet that's coming out. So there's no reason why it shouldn't be $4.99, but it will absolutely, I guarantee you, this thing, if it comes out in this form or this with this games list, it'll be a $5.99 cabinet. It'll have some cool branding on the side. And a lot of people have been waiting for an Alpha specific cabinet. It's a great collection of games. And yeah, if it's going to happen, that's the way it's going to happen. Absolutely. And to me, it's a great thing. It's a wonderful thing. Almost as good as another $5 super chat from Molar Medic. Thank you so much for your $5 super chat. Street Fighter 3 does not make sense. What does make sense to me is another $5. It's another $5 super chat. I agree. Street Fighter is overdone. Let's move on to new titles. I agree. Thank you so much for your $5 super chat and incorporating your own transition. I've got to stop doing transitions and just go right to the super chat, right? Thank you so much for that, buddy. And here you go. Thank you so much again for that super chat. And listen, we could have a civil war going on right now, because while super chats are super, sometimes they're super hurtful. Can you believe this profanity, this blasphemy in my chat from a fellow, not a fellow, but from a brother Canadian? We've reached across the border, hand in hand, in celebration of our arcade love. And you do this to me? For God's sakes, rights? What are you doing? Are you trying to ruin my Labor Day?
Wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
I'm not saying you're not right, but damn. So moving on, what's next on the list? So we talked about Street Fighter 3 ain't gonna happen. Street Fighter Alpha could absolutely happen. You could make it a cool cabinet. Legacy implies $499. I don't think they'll do a $499 cabinet with Street Fighter Alpha. They're gonna say, "Ooh, it's a new Street Fighter," and they're gonna give it a premium price. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 XL is, once again, if they still, and a lot of this, we'll talk about this at the end of this list. There's a thing I got to bring up to you. Marvel vs. Capcom 2, if they still have the license for that, I mean, they've built this game from the ground up. It's like Ninja Turtles. What else do? You can either do like a compilation, the Cowabunga compilation, a collection, or you go XL, and that's exactly what they're going to do with Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It makes sense. What else can you do with it? Go XL. And will I buy it? Oh, hell yeah. I mean, I love the games list on the cab. I love the Versus series. And so I will absolutely buy it because I'm a sucker. I'm a big, dumb, stupid sucker. It is what it is. Moving on to something else. Let's look at the next two different, these next two offerings. SNK Big Red XL. For those of you who don't know what a Big Red cabinet is, SNK cabinets, the Neo Geo cabinets, the MVS cabinets from back in the day came in a variety of different configurations. You had a 2-slot, which means you could select from 2 different games. You had a 4-slot, and you have a 6-slot. And what you're looking at is the Big Red cabinet on the left hand here. Most of the cabinets were a little smaller than this. You didn't like the speakers up above the marquee. You have the marquee and you have the games list. The speakers above kind of makes this a Big Red. Most of the cabinets were shorter. They didn't have the speakers. And instead of having black and red on the side, they were all red. And the front of the cabinet was just square. It didn't jut out like that. And then you saw the Neo Geo boards in like Dynamo cabinets and stuff like that. But when you're talking about Big Red, this is what we're talking about here in an XL form factor. This to me is a wet dream. This is not going to happen. Listen, first off, they don't have the SNK. We don't, let me take that back. We don't know if they have the SNK license. The last people that we saw, the last company that we saw had the SNK license was Unico. Now, one thing that gives this rumor some credence, some validity, and I'll say this, and I said this on Kong's over on Kong's Rosa's channel on his live stream. I said it then, I'll say it again now. I was texting back and forth, Facebook messaging, right? And I was commenting when Unico came out with their 26-inch monitor. I have one right there. Mixed reviews. Anyway, when they came out with their 26, I said, guys, if you redid your MVS-X, but with the 26-inch monitor, I would pay you like $1,500. I may have even said $2,000, but trying to get them excited. And then the response from them, now this was not a private message. This was just in a thread, a visible thread to everybody. So I don't mind sharing this information with you. Their response was, wow, that license is really expensive though. So you don't have it? So Unico doesn't have the SNK license anymore. They were able to make that one product and that's it. So right off the bat, we don't know that they have it. I don't know that they can get it. But if Unico doesn't have it, who else has it? I don't know. Is it possible that they have this license or they're pursuing the license? I think this is just a what if, and this is the biggest thing. And somebody said it in the chat, and I agree with you. This is the biggest red flag to me. This is the thing that says, you know what? This is just a wish list. This is not a roadmap. This is a, wouldn't it be cool if we did this list? First off, if you're going to come out with an SNK cabinet, it's not going to be a XL right off the bat. They're going to milk it like they always do. They're going to come up with a 3/4 and then an XL. You know, the 3/4 will be smaller. It'll be like the regular red cabinet. And then maybe the XL would be not only an XL with a 19-inch screen, but they'll upsize it. They'll go with the big red and they'll actually change the look of it, the shape of it. That's what I think. So I think that's wishful dreaming, wishful thinking. I would absolutely love it. I would absolutely dig it for sure. Hold on. All right. It's just, are you joking? You say it's not a joke, but Joe Biden also says not a joke, and then he tells a lie. So I don't know what you're doing here. But if you're serious, I heard the SNK license are owned by a Saudi prince. Maybe. Okay, here we go. We have another person saying a Saudi firm has SNK. But guys, listen, that doesn't mean they won't rent it out. That doesn't mean they won't sell it to a specific company for a specific product. Maybe that's what happened with the MVSX. Unico paid a bunch of money for a very specific product, a singular product, and they made that product and it was it. Arcade1up could do the same thing. But I think that honestly, this is just a pipe dream. This is wouldn't it be cool? And I can tell you right now, Arcade1up, if you're listening to me, if you're looking at this chat, we're very interested in you acquiring the SNK license. If you can, go get it, but I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can. But I mean, listen, if this was really going to happen, an SNK Big Red XL, that's great. But guys, what are they going to put on it? We talked about this before. I mean, the MVSX had 50 games, and even that didn't satisfy all the Neo Geo fans. So what are they going to do? Are they going to make a Metal Slug cab, and then a Samurai Showdown cab, and then a Final Fight or a Fatal Fury cab? You know, a Sin Goku cab. What are they going to do? You know, are they going to kind of do something? Well, we'll put 20 games on it. We'll put 30 games on it. Well, what are the 30 games? Listen, if you have more than 2 King of Fighters on that, I'm not interested. You can have 1 King of Fighters, have the most current King of Fighters you can run on your hardware, but everything else, I want deep cuts. I want multiple Metal Slugs. I want world heroes. That's the stuff I want. You know, I don't want a cabinet that's got 30 games and 20 of them are King of Fighters. You know, I want some other stuff. I mean, I absolutely adore the Metal Slug series. I do. The Sin Goku is awesome. All 3 of them. Because I love beat 'em ups anyway. But if you're talking about fighters, I'm gonna want more of a focus on Samurai Showdown, World Heroes, some of those series. The King of Fighters was too generic for me. I didn't like it as much. So there's that. And then there's also this next one, which is just, it's like somebody picked up they were doing some illegal substances. Off-road 3-player XL. Come on, guys. Really? No, that's not going to happen. What might happen though? The picture on the right-hand side, if you're a fan of this channel, if you haven't seen this, you want to scroll back and you can look this up. I made a 2-player driving cabinet out of a 3/4 scale cabinet. If we see an off-road with multiple steering wheels, it's only going to be 2-player. And it's not going to be XL. There ain't going to be no XL3. That's crazy. That's somebody just wishing, just dreaming, you know? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. What could happen, though, seriously, is a 2-player 3/4 scale cabinet. And if you go back and you watch this video that I made, I got a PS2 in there. I'm playing Burnout with my son. It wasn't bad. You can actually do it. And it makes some sense. Definitely, I think it should be an XL, but will it be an XL? No. I don't think we're going to see a lot of new games in the XL form factor. They always seem to that was like some of the first rehashes. You had Golden Tee rehash, more games, but still a rehash. Shack Jam rehash, Pac-Man rehash. Even the first Pro cabinet, which was just a really nice XL cabinet, was a rehash, or it was a game that was already out. It was a cabinet that was already available. So they're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna just jump off and go with a 3-player, driving cabinet, off-road cabinet, XL. That's way too much. Nobody's going to, I'm not going to say nobody's going to buy it, but I think it's a little bit too obscure. So I think what you will see, though, is a 2-player driving cabinet, 3/4 scale. Hate to break it to you, but that's what you're going to see. So this is something that's on the list. It's just, that's crazy. Lethal Enforcers. Yeah, I can see that. Is that going to be the way to go? I think Area 51 would make more sense. But that's just me. I mean, I think once you got to start looking at, I mean, if they sell to retailers, they're going to want some kind of brand recognition. And you're looking at movie tie-ins, you're looking at like Jurassic Park, and that may be just too much money to spend on a license. But that would be a more reliable thing to do. You know, I think that before Lethal Enforcers would happen, I would think that, I mean, as far as just pure arcade shooters, pure arcade fans would want something from Sega way before we want Lethal Enforcers. Lethal Enforcers, you could probably pick up for pennies. You could probably pick it up for cheap. But who's gonna? I mean, Lethal Enforcers. That's only going to be arcade fans. You're not going to see random people picking up a Lethal Enforcers cabinet. House of the Dead has enough brand recognition. They made a damn movie out of it. There was a HD remake recently on the Switch. It's got some kind of brand recognition, but Sega wants big dollars, big money for their properties. So what do? Do you spend the extra money and you go with Sega on something that's probably a slam dunk as far as sales, or do you save some money, go with Lethal Enforcers, and run the risk of nobody buying this damn cabinet? I mean, it could be cool, but you know they're not going to do an XL because it's Lethal Enforcers. So you're going to get a 3/4 scale cabinet that's Lethal Enforcers. And are you going to pay $700 for it or $600 for it? No, you're going to wait for it to go on sale. And that just tells me right there, I mean, like, if that is everybody's mentality, if they come out with a Lethal Enforcers, you know what everybody's going to say? YouTubers like myself, we're going to say, where's House of the Dead? Miss Harris super chatted saying, where's House of the Dead? I don't want Lethal Enforcers. I want House of the Dead. I think a lot of people are going to say that. I think the biggest story coming out about Time Crisis, once they finally announced it, what was the biggest story? The biggest story was the price. You shot yourself in the foot with the price, and it's a damn shame. So no, Lethal Enforcers, I dig it. I like the game, but is that actually going to happen? I doubt it. I doubt it. They won't. I mean, if they won't make a Qbert cab, are they really going to do something that's very specific to arcades? You know, I just don't see it. Lethal Enforcers, I think most people, the normies are going to say, huh? What? Doesn't make a lot of sense. Doesn't make any sense. But you know what does make sense? Another super chat. This one comes to us from Rights Retro K 279. So about the lack of Sega on the list. There you go. I just covered it before I read your super chat. Damn. You and me, we're back on track. You hurt my feelings with the alpha comment, but I'll let it slide because of the super chat and the fact that, you're talking about the Sega. You and I, right there. Thank you so much for your super chat, brother. Really appreciate it. And here you go.
Perfect! Hyper combo KO! Game's over. Time to call it quits.
Dude, Lethal Enforcers and Police Trainer on the same cab would be a dream, though. You and I are arcade fans. I'm not saying I wouldn't dig it. I'm not saying I wouldn't like it. I'm not even saying I wouldn't buy it because I love the shooter cabs. But is that a day one buy for you? If they come out and they say $700 for Lethal Enforcers, are you going to be like, well, maybe? I mean, if it's $599, is that a day one buy, B? I don't know, man. I have respect for it. It's definitely iconic in the arcade. And I think for the arcade community, I'm all about it. And I think we would like it. But I think that I could look at that and say, all right, that's cool. I'll wait for it to go on sale. It's not a day one buy. And the general public, the general consumers, they wouldn't buy it. I think that's like a direct to consumer type thing. And maybe this is the reason this stuff is on the list is because it was a direct to consumer thing. Okay, now let's get crazy. Let's get nuts. Let's get stupid. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. With this right here. This next one on the list. Pac-Man Royale? What the hell is that? That's crazy. What are they even talking about? Well, I think I know what they're talking about. I think it's right here. Pac-Man Battle Royale is this 4-player Pac-Man thing. And it looks pretty cool, but at first I thought, okay, well, maybe this is just a game that's going to come to the Infinity game table. But then I thought, wait a minute. There is a form factor out there that has never been reused. And it was the Pong pub table, and that was a 4-player table, cabinet, whatever. What if the Battle Royale, the Pac-Man Battle Royale, is a 4-player game that is just, they just reuse this pub table form factor to make this happen? I don't know if this is going to happen, but I know a couple things. I know 2 things. I know that Arcade1up loves their Pac-Man, and they also love money. There's probably a ton of raw material for this pub table ready to go that is not branded or decaled or nothing, sitting there. And I bet you dollars to donuts, they could absolutely just slap in some joysticks and 2 buttons and call it a day. And now all of a sudden, the Pong pub table has new life as a Battle Royale pub table. I mean, is it going to work with a 17-inch monitor? No, but they'll probably try it. They'll probably do it. Now, what would really be cool? What if we take the Pong pub table and we put a 19-inch monitor in there? Or what if we take some monitors from, I don't know, those Arcade1up pinball machines and we throw those 27-inch monitors in there? Boom. What do you think about that? Or 24. Put those in there. What do you think about that? That would be kind of cool. But I think that if you do a Pong pub table with a 19-inch monitor and you got the Pac-Man branding and it's 4-player, this, bear with me, this could be really cool. I would like that. Well, let me take it back. I'd be interested in it. Is that a day one buy? No. But Michael B said he liked the pub table. He dug it. I think the limit is Pong. Not a lot of people are going to walk up to this thing, put their beer on it, and want to play Pong. And to be fair, I wouldn't want anybody to put their beer on it because there's no plexiglass cover on this damn thing. So you got to do that Arcade1up. But if you know what? I'm telling you what. I thought this was silly until I thought about the Pong pub table, 4-player, Pac-Man Battle Royale, 19-inch monitor with a big piece of Lexan on top. You might have something. You might actually have something there. So it is what it is. I don't know. Is that going to happen? I'm telling you guys, as we go down this list, it gets weirder and weirder. And I'm not just talking about the coffee stains. I'm talking about something even weirder. I'm talking about 720. What the hell are we talking about? Are we seriously talking about 720? Guys, come on. The reasons why I think this list is not a real roadmap is for reasons like things like suggestions like this. It's like they got to the end of the list and they were going around the room and people ran out of ideas. And there was a couple guys in the back who needed to say something. And so they said, 720. 720. That's an arcade game that we could do. You could, but the 720 was basically a joystick that was attached to a spinner. I mean, I included a picture of the cabinet because the cabinet is absolutely sick. It's a very, very cool cabinet. So I think they could reproduce this. They could do it, and with some success. I think they could pull this off. If you look at the way it's constructed, it's not that exotic. It's not like it's a candy cab where everything's molded, but they could do that. And you look at I included the joystick picture because it's funny, but they could get away with the spinner with the joystick. They could I don't know. Could they possibly get away with one of those Blitz joysticks? I don't know. No, I think it has to be a spinner. I think you have to do a spinner. So you would have to spend some money on that. You would have to, there's R&D, there's real R&D. You got to develop that. You got to make that good. It's got to be solid because the way you spin that thing is going to take a lot of abuse. And what the hell else goes on this cabinet? I mean, this is one of the most obscure. 720 is very cool, but it is so obscure and weird. And it lacks, other than, like I said, arcade fans are going to dig it. But what the hell else you going to put on it? I mean, it's just, I mean, it's like this is, to me, this list. And unfortunately, as much fun as we've had tonight going over this list, I think this list is a bunch of maybes. It's a bunch of wouldn't it be nice? I think you have some things that are just a lock. Smash TV is going to happen. Cowabunga Collection is going to happen. Track and Field, probably not. Star Wars XL is just obvious. I think the game AVP was greenlit, but it might just be added to an existing cabinet. Street Fighter Alpha, yeah, they'll do that. But it won't be a legacy. It'll be a $5.99 cabinet. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 XL, it's going to happen, because what else do you do with that cabinet? They'll keep the online play. It'll be the same broken online play. I'm sorry, but that's just what it's going to be. SNK ain't going to happen. Off-Road 3-player, that ain't going to happen. Maybe two-player. Lethal Enforcers, not going to happen. If it happens, it's going to be odd. Pac-Man Royale will probably happen in some form. If it's not the 4-player we talked about with the pub table, I don't know. It could be some weird 2-player cabinet. I don't know. I don't know how you would do that. And 720 is not going to happen. Sorry, not going to happen. So is the list legit? Is the list real? I don't think so. I think the list has some very likely cabinets, but a lot of this stuff is not going to happen. Here's something we have to consider. Looking at the list, taking all this into consideration, John D is no longer with the company. I don't know if it was a firing or he just quit, or, I mean, what was everybody happy? Was it an amicable divorce, or was it not good? I don't really know. But at the very minimum, what we have to admit is that there is, on the licensing side at Arcade1up, there has been a shakeup. Personnel are no longer there. How does that impact current contracts and future contracts? Is it all just personalities? Is it all just relationships? I know that in sales, there's two schools of thought in sales. And depending on your industry, I think one school of thought is going to have precedent over the other. One school of thought is sales is all about relationships. And another school of thought is sales is all about fixing a problem. On the tech side, the industrial side, customers want you to fix their problem. They don't really, going out to the bar is not as important as, can you fix my problem? I don't think that's what this arcade stuff is. I think the video game licensing is probably more the other one. It's probably the relationship side. Who scratches who's back? So I think that personalities play a big role in that. I'm not saying that Arcade1up lost all their licenses just because John D left. But how many licenses are going to be, how many contracts are going to be re-upped if you don't have that guy that negotiated that original contract? I don't know. But at the very least, we have to admit that there's been a change. There's been a shakeup on the licensing side. I think that could affect several things on this list. This list that's basically just made up of what ifs, wouldn't that be cool, gee gollies, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So, is the list real? I think the list is real. But the contents within that list and their likelihood of being an actual product that you and I could buy, well, that's another story entirely. Would you look at that?
What the hell?
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up.
Unfortunately, it is that time to go ahead and wrap this thing up. But listen, don't go anywhere. Stay right here. As soon as we're done here, you're going to be automatically teleported to Kong's R Us's channel, where he's going to talk about all manner of crazy stuff. Something about a party. I don't know. But before we read that poll, because we got to get to the poll question, I have dying to see the results of this poll. But before we do that, before I die of anticipation, I want to be resuscitated, brought back to life. Nothing breathes life into my lungs like a super chat. $5 in this case for Glairzilla, $4.99. Thank you so much for your $5 super chat. Alien versus Predator has to happen. Cheers, 19K Fox. Happy early Labor Day. I'm having some Jeffersons as well. Well, my brother, there you go. Or sister. Not going to judge here. Not going to assume anything. Jefferson's is the way to go. Thank you so much for your $5. I really do appreciate it. And here you go.
Finish him. Sub-Zero wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
Not to be outdone. Not to allow the breath within my lungs to leave my body, but to breathe new life in and to invigorate me is a $10 super chat. This one comes to us from Making Circles, $9.99. Thank you so much for your super chat. I really do appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. Hey, Fox, good discussion. The community appreciates you. I appreciate the community. It means a lot. Would you buy Big Blue version 2, if they added AVP? I would love to sit here and pretend like I wouldn't, but I absolutely would. Listen, I think at this point, as much as I've complained about it, I owe it to them to go ahead and buy it. But hey, it's my cross to bear. All right, before we go, we got to talk about that poll question. Let's check it out. How did you vote? Let's check it. 251 votes. You are badasses. Every single one of you. You blew out my you just destroyed my expectations. That's incredible. Thank you so much. So the question was simply this. And remember, hang out. Stay right here because you'll automatically be teleported to Kong's R Us just a second. But before we do, let's check this out. So, should XL be the only cabinet moving forward? Was the actual question tonight. 251 votes. I'm just stunned. Thank you so much, everybody, for participating. It really helps me, and hopefully, if Arcade1up is watching, helps them kind of figure out where your head's at. What do you want to see? Should XL be the only form factor coming forward? 251 votes. Ending the poll right now. Let's check out the results. Here they are. So, coming in fourth place was no. Only make 3/4 scale cabinets. I kind of figured that. 7%. Coming in third place, no. Just make a few every year. 24%. That's not an insignificant number, but still coming in in third place. Coming in second place, yes. Just completely give up on 3/4 scale at 25%. So a quarter of the fan base says, quit. Who cares? Move on. 3/4 scale sucks. But the number one answer, and this is the one that I agree with the most, is yes, but keep the $299 peasant version of the 3/4 scale cabinet. Definitely move forward with the XL. More XLs. We love the XLs, but keep that cheap version for people coming in that want to be part of the community. Do that. It's the right thing to do. So that is 42%. That's awesome. Everybody, 2 hours. Holiday weekend. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me. It means a whole hell of a lot. Stay right here, and you'll be redirected to Kong's R Us. And when you get there, make sure you tell them, hey, it's a Fox raid. Everybody, thank you so much for stopping by, checking out the channel. I will see all of you next time. Y'all have a blessed day, a blessed week, a blessed Labor Day weekend, and I will see all of you next time. Peace.